What is good? It is Salim Mohammed Tarfa, the Fizi Kage on the Fizi Speaks, back again with another episode. And on this episode, I am joined by three amazing entrepreneurial ladies doing amazing things in their craft. I'm joined by Habiba Mohammed Tarfa
of the Castle Collections. Per.
Yeah, she's a fashion designer, multi-billionaire in the making, and we are so proud to have her on the podcast. Welcome, Habiba. We have Promise Hyacinth.
She's not this gentle in real life.
She's not okay. Apparently, she's shy. She's mic shy. It's her first time ever on the podcast. We're very glad to have her on the podcast finally. And Promise, you are welcome. Promise is an amazing administrator and beauty. Yeah, beauty. She has the beauty thing going on. We thank God. So yeah, that's Promise Hyacinth. Really amazing individual, as you will come to know on the episode. And for the umpteenth time, we have Juliet Godwin, OAP extraordinaire. Juliet, welcome to the Fizi Speaks. Yeah, we probably shouldn't even introduce Juliet anymore. She'd just be like background sound on the podcast because she's here every time. I think people are tired of Juliet at this point. I'm sorry for putting her on the episode. I'm not sorry. We love having Juliet on the episodes. She's really great. So let's get into this episode talking about the question: do second chance relationships work? Do second chance relationships work? Let's get it.
Okay, so we're starting with the whole idea of what is second chance relationships, because sometimes you might think about the fact that in relationships there are times when you're like, I'm done, and then you guys come back together again, and we're not talking about that kind of relationship, I think, right? Yeah. So, but what's the time duration before you even take a second chance relationship?
Like 1 year.
No, 1 year.
Okay.
Yes, too much
Okay,
now.
this is crazy.
It's still fixable now. Like, can fix it.
No, anyway, it depends on the issue actually.
Okay. So there are certain things I look at when it comes to the time apart in a relationship. When you have a break, depending on the depth of how the relationship, how deep the relationship was, 2 days may feel like 2 weeks for some relationships. So I don't think every relationship has the same time frame, right? It should just be, I would say, a significant enough amount of time where a new habit can form. So we say usually that a habit can form within 21 days, right?
Yeah.
So I think anything from 21 days of being apart, you should count that relationship as
It don't break.
It's null and void and everything. Because if you can go 21 days without reaching your significant other, I think you have moved on. So let's assume you're good.
You're not moved on, Shabo.
You're not moved on, but you're not in the relationship, because a relationship you would want to have communication as much as possible. So I think that's something. Maybe 21 days should be, I don't know, an idea, possible time frame. But I think it can be less than that. It can be a week. If you take a week, okay, you're asking for too much. Because some people can't handle a week. A week is they'll just assume you've died. So you move on and they marry your brother. So that's crazy. Yeah, it's just you never know. So yeah, so this wonderful question: do second chance relationships work? So second chance relationships are relationships where you've had a fight, you and your partner have had a fight or had a disagreement or whatever, and you end the relationship. Now, usually, when you have an argument, things get heated, people say things they don't mean. So people say, I'm done with this, leave my house, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They fight. And then they go their separate ways for a while. And usually, in a relationship that can be fixed, people come back after 2 days and be like, have you eaten? I think have you eaten is like the Nigerian way of saying I love you. So, I miss you.
Well, some people still come to say, oh, I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you, but like for my own personal experience, when people say I miss you, I start to feel like I don't know whether it's PTSD. I just kind of feel like, why? Because last time I checked, you were trying to kill me. So why are you missing me? Like, are you missing the fact that I'm still alive? What is the problem? So I'm worried about that. So
but having fights are different from affection. What you feel for someone is different from when you guys are.
Yeah, that's good.
So very, very normal for someone to just come and say, "Oh, I miss you." That's different from.
But okay, so I don't know if it's just me, but don't you feel like it comes off as a bit manipulative when people say they miss you?
No.
Because it's like they are pulling on your
they
on
are
your
trying to
emotional
say,
strings.
no.
Like,
can we
come back? But then my question is why?
Or they're trying to even
Why do you miss? Why?
Maybe they're feeling lonely. You know,
That's
they miss that connection.
very good.
Someone to talk to.
I
all
love
the
that.
time.
I love that.
You
See,
get that kind of stuff.
that if we are very honest with ourselves, a lot of relationships are hanging on that particular thread, which is that we don't want to be lonely.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back to having no one to talk to because you are the only one we'll be talking to for the past how many months.
fresh again.
Starting afresh
That's
is
crazy.
very painful because for me, I think one of the hardest things to do is you've committed a lot of yourself to
To
one
one
person.
person.
You know, now you know when you win money, even if it's secret money, you want to just run and go and tell them, "I've got this money. Like, you can go and eat, you can live life, you can do, you know." But now you don't have that special person anymore.
Yeah.
So it robs you of a part of your life. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're tempted to reach out and say, "Hey,
Miss you.
I miss you."
I miss you.
You
How
know,
are you doing?
Yeah, how are you doing? You know, and then it's tricky because they don't want to hear that you are doing too well without
They
them.
want to know that you're miserable.
No, they want to know that you
You're
miss
as
me too.
miserable as
Like,
they are.
yeah, because misery loves company. So they want to hear that, you know, I'm
You're
miserable.
You're
and
miserable.
yeah,
Let's get back together and make
yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
happy.
yeah,
So,
fantastic.
Like this.
Wow, that's okay. So we just had a live demonstration of I
Oh,
miss
wow.
Oh, I
you
miss you, and,
And,
I want you back.
and I want
by
you
fire,
back
by force.
by fire by force.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
I would take the cross, you know, for you. That's what they are trying to say. So
Okay.
it's
I
crazy.
feel like, see, for a relationship to get to a point where you guys have said, "I'm done," it means that whatever that difference is, it has gotten to a point where it's almost irreparable. Because I believe if you can fix things, in 2 or 3 days, you guys will have gotten back together and be like, "Come on, let's fix this."
I feel like it's even too, I don't know whether it's
So
just
for
me
you to have stayed that long apart, it means that somewhere in both of you's head,
or one of you said
or one of you's head, you have realized that
this is
there's
not working.
something here can
Will it
actually
work?
What if you guys try to, stay apart for a period of time so that you can just reflect
So now-
on your actions? Then
Oh,
maybe
so
after
we're
that
gonna-
time.
Okay, so I see.
I was even mentioning that 6 months. Maybe after that time,
She
you
said
come
6
back.
months.
Yes,
She
now,
just
so
said
that you
6
can work on yourself.
Okay,
There are
so
some things
Man,
that
you have heart.
There's some
Six months.
some things that you know that you are doing is not good, and you need time to work on it. The both of you will try and stay apart and
You see, this your
work.
6 months analysis. It's
6
very,
months will
very
not work.
hard for it to work.
6
It's
months
very
cannot
hard
work.
for it to
You guys
work.
can keep in touch.
No matter-
but
no matter how
but
long
you know
it's
that.
So I've seen a
nothing is
scenario.
going on.
So I've seen
You
a
guys can keep
scenario.
in touch and see if you can.
There's
I've
no
seen a
keeping
scen-
in touch. If
Let
you
me-
want to move
yeah.
on, you can't keep in touch. In short, you have to cut all
No,
ties.
we are not talking
So
about
as-
moving on.
see,
We're
there was
talking
a
about
scenario-
taking a break.
I know
and
that,
see-
no,
Okay,
that taking
okay.
a break is different from saying I'm done.
Okay.
I've had a case of like a couple saying they're always, they notice that all of a sudden they are no longer speaking the same language, and then
What happened? One of them lost part of their, I don't know, what part of the
Yeah.
brain handles language?
all they just know is that as this person is saying I'm going to the market, the other person is hearing I don't want to deal with you. You know, instead of, so everyone is hearing something else.
things.
You get now, they decided that okay, one day they were just talking and then they start shouting at each other, and they decide, okay, you know what? Let's just take a break. And they were like, okay, how long do we need apart to clear our head and understand what is causing this static in our communication? And they were like, 1 month. Okay, let's take 1 month off and see if we can clear our head and understand, you know. And somehow they ended up getting back 1 week after.
Obviously.
Because they could not just stay
Apart.
away, you get. But that's taking a break. That's not I'm done. That's more like in that space.
That's like a
But
mutual agreement.
agreement
to-
to
temporary
understand.
done, like temporary.
Oh, she said temporary.
It
So,
depends
so,
on
so this
okay.
is the problem.
your differences.
So
You
that,
can't work
so
on
that
it.
was
That
not,
means-
so the idea
As
of
the only
break
guy
was
in
not-
this conversation, I'll just say something because there is a way. I would say that there's a way men and women communicate things that is a bit different. When a woman comes and says, "Let's take a break," what the guy is hearing is,
Let's break up.
"Let's break up."
Are you for real?
We don't understand.
Yeah, that's what.
Because-
what's
because-
the whole use of a
What's the
break?
use of a break?
Why are you?
Because let me be like this. I don't know whether it's. I can't speak for all guys, but I'll say. If I'm in a relationship with someone, it's because I believe that within or between both of us, there is a capacity to fix things, right? Okay. I believe that we have some, you have your thing, strength, I have my strength, you have your bit, I have my, but we can come together and work things out, right? Yeah. Especially for the guy who believes that, or who is already working within the realm of a fixer. Yeah. Because most guys, that's what they do. That's what we do. We fix. We come up somewhere. That's why when women are talking and just go, and the guy is answering them and giving them solutions. They don't like it because they say you're not listening to me. But the guy is actually listening. That's the only person on this earth that's listening to you because he has had the whole conversation of what you're trying to say, and he knows where the problem is, and he wants to just solve the problem. But you don't want him to solve the problem. You want it to be your girlfriend. You want him to sit down there and say, "Oh, she did that. That's crazy. Why? This that." I'm just like I said, I can't speak for all guys because there are going to be those guys that are cuckoo in the brain. There are going to be those guys that are not just caring at all. There are going to be those guys that they have not even unleashed their inner fixer. They are just there as I'm a man because I have something between my legs. Sometimes the woman has grown up as a man. That's why you see some people bearing some kind of masculine names. When you see a woman that is bearing masculine name, you know what it means. I'm just saying, when you see a woman that is bearing like all this Emeka, all those, I don't know.
No, you are trying.
Let's not go there. But the point is, we have men and women who exhibit effeminate and masculine traits and stuff like that. So they can be those oddities, but for the most part, a man is a builder, is a fixer. Yeah. So if a man sees that you are willing to terminate your relationship with him for any period of time, what he's saying is you don't believe in his ability or capacity to fix. Do you get? So for him, it's like you have a scorecard and they give you F9. Go and receive this paper. That's what it means. So it means you failed this course. Do you understand? So that's how we interpret let's take a break. To you, it's like, okay, we'll go and take a break. Maybe I'll travel with my girlfriends, go to Owerri and just have fun, something. That might be you, thinking that you would go for a kind of emotional cleanse, come back and you'll be well sorted. Maybe you read 10 books within that period of time or something. Clear your head. But the guy is thinking, she doesn't believe in my capacity anymore. So the moment you start that break, he might be nodding and saying, okay, I understand. Because he's obviously going to hold you against your will. But guess what? In his own mind, he's telling himself, this girl does not believe I have what it takes to lead her anymore. Right? So even if you go and come back, it's not likely going to feel the same. Because he already feels like she doesn't trust me with that aspect of the relationship anymore. So he's already, she will come back, she will not come back.
Yeah, because I think you're actually right with this thing because it actually happened. That was actually what happened today.
Sometimes we need break too, actually, because when the tension is too much and the heat and everything, just need to, even if it's like 2 days, just cool off.
Okay. So this is the funny thing, yeah. I love what you just said, promise. So I feel like there is a conscious break, like how would I put it now? A formal break, which is more, let's take a break. You know, that proposal break is one kind of break, and a second break that comes emotionally. Nobody says anything. Nobody asks for the break. Nobody said let's take a break. You just stop talking. The person just go. You are both of you are angry. Your egos are bruised. Your emotions are all over the place. You just don't talk to each other.
And you wait for the bigger person.
The bigger person who usually anyway. Let's not.
Silence.
I cannot speak for everybody, but in some relationships, it will be the guy. Sometimes it will be the girl. But I think you're about to say something.
Mostly the girl.
Mostly the girl.
Mostly the guys.
Mostly the guys. I love the fact that this women here have said it. Everybody has said it. It's mostly the guys. Because for my own personal experience, I mean, I've had a few relationships in my life.
Ladies that make the first move.
For a girl to be angry enough not talk to you, well, I should actually keep quiet.
She will just like.
Yeah.
It's okay. What's
you know the thing is.
That kind of thing.
I don't know about you.
I like your kind of girl.
I don't know about you, but I'll feel like most guys will kill for that kind of girl. Like what I'm saying is this. A lot of guys are, even I'll say even myself to some extent, are somewhat egotistical. So a fight breaks out or something happens, we're not talking to each other, you know, he really wants her to come and say, let's talk. You know, but it might not happen. But he's acting strong. He might even hang around with some other girls.
Both
Look like
now.
yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, on average, the guys seem to move on faster. They seem to be okay sooner, but they are not. Men are really not good at handling emotions. They don't. So they do a lot of things. A lot of them can be detrimental. Some of them can be they can be destructive. You know, they do a lot of crazy things just to move away from that emotion. So I mean, for me, there was a particular time I had this crazy experience, and I remember I stayed on site till like 9:30 that night. I just walk. It's not even my work. I just stay because I just want to be busy. I don't want anything I don't want to have time to think about anything. So people are leaving. So I say, well, this thing we'll leave it tomorrow. It's too much. You can't do it today. I said, no, I'll do it today. You must finish it today. I stayed there. This and that. You know, my boss was like, thumbs up on the group chat. When I sent pictures, they were like, so that this guy was still there. Wow, you know.
The thing
is, yes, I was doing my job. Yeah, and assisting the guy, I was doing my best with it. But at the same time, I knew that deep down, I was running from something, which is my maybe emotions. I don't want to start thinking. So anything I can do to just be busy. So some guys will flirt. Some guys even start playing with other girls, drinking, doing gambling, whatever you can do to keep your mind busy. I don't want to think about the fact that I'm hurt, because it feels somehow like open up somebody and be like, guy, I'm hurt. What? Even if
but it's okay to express
it's for you as a girl.
It's very,
guys. It's
but
okay.
You know it's okay.
You know the best part. You know the best part of this.
It's hard for guys to.
You know the best part of this conversation is that immediately I said the guy came and said he's hurt. Everybody here laughed. So anything you want to say is for your pocket. Let's just allow ourselves to breathe.
They don't even open up like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to allow us to move a bit faster now. Habiba, right? Do you see, like for example, now we've talked about the kind of second chance relationships. Yeah, they've broken up. Two people have, in a relationship, the guy and the girl, they've had an argument. They've said, "I'm not doing it again." They've gone their separate ways. They probably dated other people. This is what I'm talking about. There's been a significant amount of time between them, right? They probably have dated other people, or they have not.
I was mentioning 6 months.
What? Yeah, 6 months is a possible.
Yeah.
So the thing is this: it might not be that they get into relationships.
It's very reasonable.
It might not be that they got into a new relationship, but it could be that they've started talking stages.
Yeah.
Consciously or unconsciously it happens. The person is already asking you, "How's your day?"
Right?
And you're like, "Okay, what's the favorite color?" It's black. There you go. Okay, do you like chicken? Yes. All right. Next tomorrow. What are your hobbies? So before you know you are in a talking stage, you don't even know that you're there. You're feeling from already. You're started feeling biometrics. So you get to a particular point after let's say 6 month period of time, or 3 months, or whatever period of time, and this person re-enters your life. This your now ex re-enters your life, or maybe they are still in your life somehow. Maybe they've not been as close, but gradually they get close and close and close, and now they are closer, and they are calling you every day and everything, and they are trying to reignite the relationship. Do you feel these second chance relationships work?
Well, for me, I think firstly, it depends on how you guys ended your relationship first.
Okay.
Because normally, maybe, even if you decide to come back, things might work out, things might not work out.
Yeah,
so that's like a 50-50
50-50 already.
Kind of stuff. So, well, it depends, like I said. So I won't really know exactly,
Depends on the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on the problem.
Okay, I feel like it is 50-50 in the beginning. Do you understand? Why I don't think it's 50-50 is like, in the beginning of the relationship, the first time, it was 50-50. 50-50 in the sense that it can work, it cannot work.
Yeah.
But now it's no longer 50-50 because we've already tried this and we got to it did not work. So we are within the realm of that 50% of it did not work now. It's now a different question of, can it be salvaged? Can we repair this? So it's not that it can work and then work. It didn't work already. We know it didn't work. That's why we broke up, right?
Yeah.
There were aspects that worked, but we're looking at, can we repair this relationship now?
Yeah, it's possible.
So it's no longer 50-50 now. It's more like 25% to, I don't know.
Actually, I still think it's 50-50.
Okay.
Because a lot also hangs on what happened in that space apart.
In the space apart. Were you guys working on your differences?
I think I had a case of an ex that tried to come back, and at the first time he came, I was just like, the relationship was good though. In fact, our separation was not everybody's break your head, scatter your head. No, it was just
why are people breaking their head?
No, it wasn't that kind of. It was more a case of you're going this way, I'm going this way,
different directions.
Now it's as if after some time now, like our paths be aligned, that kind of thing. But guess what? At the beginning, I was like, because the relationship worked that time, it's possible to still work, Abby. But then I realized something. We have changed.
Okay, that was another thing I wanted to do. That was beautiful.
I have changed. You have
because
changed.
we are always
my tastes have changed.
Flux.
You understand? So I'm looking at him again. I'm like,
so what if you're
things you have now? I don't like it.
Sorry. Those things that you were not seeing before.
Do you get? So a lot had changed in that space. So if it was a really bad breakup, like that kind of everybody's crying and swearing at each other and all that kind of breakup, and then you guys go apart. In that space of time, did you people mature? Did you grow? Did you get better?
So what if there was no change?
If there was no change, well, I don't try it. Do not, for the life of God in me, try it. Because it will be worse.
One thing I learned is that when someone says, I miss you, maybe an ex says, I miss you, my question usually is why? And the reason why I say why is because I'm trying to see, do you understand the person that's telling me you miss me? I understand it's cool, you miss me because of course you should miss me. I mean, I'm me, right? I'm a spec, of course.
Oh God.
But aside you missing me, seeing all that has become of us now, our fights, our disagreements, our issues, you understand? Do you still miss this person with the realization of everything that we have actually now come true? You understand? So for example, now you dated a guy who, God forbid, was violent. Right? He was violent, was hitting, was doing stuff. You try to love him out of the madness, but he was abusive. You go out of that relationship realizing how much abuse you were. Because when you're in a relationship, you don't even know. You are trying to cover everything. Love is just cover everything for you.
No, that one not
but it doesn't. No, it shouldn't be, because I think we should have clear markers of what is wrong and what is right, and not going through it. Love with your head. So, but at the same time, it's hard, but because we don't really love with our heads. Love in itself is losing control.
It's to beat in your head will
For some people, the thing don't blend their eyes.
People are not normal, they like it now.
Say they are not normal.
Most
people just care about what people will say.
Yeah, for some,
because they've been maybe with this person for a very long time. So
how
people perceive me, what are they going
to
say? Let me just tolerate. Let me just manage.
People will tell you that you should know.
It's not that. There are people that still suffer
that. Going through it now. Wow. And the girl know they shift. They're not even like don't go up, turn around. She still loves the guy. So I know they talk. I'm not bothered.
So when you are thinking about the good of a past relationship, you'll be like, wow, that person was really, they're really nice, they're really this. Because, it's like rose-colored glasses looking back. But we tend to skip on the negatives, Now that your eye is clear, you're no more in pain, you're no longer angry. It's easy to remember the good.
Yeah.
But when you say you miss me, I'm asking you why, because I'm saying, you remember the negative things you complained about. Do you still remember? Can you see me
still doing
through all those things and say you still miss that person? Because is it that you've grown? That will not expose you. Like, okay, have you grown? Maybe in understanding of where I'm coming from now, so you are better able to deal with me, or are you just missing the colorful, the good vibes? Because it's easy to miss that. So I feel like what happens in a lot of second chance relationships is that there is one party, usually, that is very optimistic about the relationship working out, right? I don't think it's two, but I think it's usually one party that is more optimistic than the other, and you really want to convince the other person that things will work out. But see, the other person is probably traumatized. It's probably a bit. I don't really think it's going to work and all that. So they are not likely to put in so much effort because possibly they have not grown, they've not changed, they've not looked at themselves and sat down, grown on whatever, worked on whatever individually. They will come together as a collective and say, okay, this is what went wrong. Now that relationship is like one in like, I don't know, you don't see it every day. So what I'm saying is that you have not. It's true now. I'm not going to lie about that. So, the manner of approach is there. All those things are there. And if you've not had a healthy relationship standard in your life, it might be in your parents, it might be in your friendships, it might even be with your relationship with yourself. You are likely to argue wrongly. You are likely to want to resolve things wrongly. Some people try to resolve things with gifts. Some people try to resolve things with sex. Some people try to resolve things with grandiose shows of affection. So that day they will send you 300k.
With rose and
with
money
rose and this and that.
I'm sorry.
That's what you say. That's why they are boxing somebody's eye. And you are telling her that she loves him. She doesn't love him, but she has collected 300k. Keep quiet. Keep your ass quiet. Continue this relationship, and then
but that shouldn't be a factor.
It shouldn't be a factor.
I will get the money and tell you no. Sorry, I can't come back.
So promise. So please, what do you think about the second chance relationships working?
And as Biba said, depends on the issue surrounding the first breakup, So maybe if you guys give yourself the opportunity to work on things that you know that you're lacking and all that, I think the chances of getting back together are quite high. So it's very possible. Individuals.
Yeah.
So some people might
have to want to.
Yes.
Both parties actually.
Yeah.
Especially when you are trying to build other relationship, but it's not just making sense to you. Just like, it's not better I just
go back to the one.
Yeah.
Exactly. This person that understands me to a very large extent and all that.
You got it, my sister. You got it.
Okay.
So the chances are high in some cases. So it just depends.
But I think like you said, it's when the both parties are looking to make it work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just
of course, now it can't be one-sided.
Because the problem I see a lot of the time is one person is saying, I am willing to make it work only if you are also willing to make it work. So I need to see your effort.
Of course.
I can't show up and be doing gymnastics.
Let me see that, okay, you are trying.
For people to even try to even work things up means that they still love themselves. They still have that affection.
They still have that affection for themselves.
So they are willing to try.
Yeah.
So when it's not working, then they just stop.
No problem.
More face front.
Yeah. It's actually easier to go back than to start fresh. And I think what happens, because I was thinking about this thing the other day, I don't know, you ladies can let me know if I'm making sense or not.
Okay.
But as time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to trust new people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah?
Actually, because
So,
there are patterns that they keep repeating. And you're like, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Like,
You're going to
You're stressing me now.
I had the talking stage. I just saw one. I will not call it 5-minute snippet. Something that
Of what your life will be.
I'm like,
People don't know that this is the thing I did that people drop this person away.
exactly.
They are not even aware.
They're not aware.
You, your mind, you know that
No. You know what I mean? It's just like this thing that there was this thing that Pastor Iren said, one of his shorts. He said something about him and a girl in school then, and then it was like, okay, she's feeling the girl is cool, and then they were reading together, and then one time the girl took out her pen, and then she put it in her ear, and she dragged out the biggest earwax she has ever seen in his life. And then everything about the attraction he had with the girl just died. Like
instantly.
He just quenched. And the funny thing is, he didn't have the chance. I mean, not that he didn't have the chance. He didn't bother to just tell her why we grew apart. Like, when you're friends, you used to walk home together. Now it's like, No, just go by
Later.
yourself. Don't worry. I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling. I don't want to trek with you. You know, I don't want to slow you down. You know, this kind of excuses. But you know, you're like this because she's just doing one, and you can't tell her like, hey, why are you so?
Well, it would have been nice if he told her
So
actually.
the funny thing is this, it could have been nice, but it also could have not been nice. So
At least so that she won't do it next time.
well,
And
I
tell other
hope
people
she's still not doing it because
maybe a habit. You don't know.
Yeah.
Even if you can't deal with the person again, just maybe tell them so that they will be conscious of their actions. Don't
absolutely.
know. They might just be chasing their husbands away just like that, and they don't know.
All wives,
Nice.
all wives. You never know.
If you notice something, it's just wise
Just
for you to
tell
tell the
her,
person,
sha.
even if you know that.
Even if you you
Maybe
cannot
on
tell her
later
then,
on,
exactly, come
say
back
this is
and
the
tell
reason
her,
I did
yo.
this. So you know, like,
be happy your
I
ear.
think the first time she did it.
That's the best part is that you don't have to do it 10 times. It's just like you've been in a relationship where your partner was verbally abusive. We talk about physical violence, a lot of talk about emotional violence, and a lot of girls, we don't want to say this thing. People are very emotionally violent people. When you
I
are
think
in
it's
the mood.
even easier to handle that emotional violence than physical one because it's unconsciously we are even engaging in it and we don't know.
It's just because the scars are not visible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emotional abuse is not visible.
You can't.
When your partner talks you down, says you are nothing. Who are
that
you?
thing for years.
What are you? Okay, let me give you an example. I just like there's something guys do. If you tell a guy nice shirt, just try it. You might not. Maybe you might even think maybe you've done it before. You tell a guy, I like your shirt. You told him 27 years ago. He will remember.
Yeah.
Every day he puts on that shirt, he will remember your
that.
face, the day you told him, the way you smelled, everything, he will remember it. I kid you not. So, the same way somebody is telling you to your face, you've done nothing for me. You know, what have you ever done for me? That kind of, for a guy, that's the statement that till he dies, it's not going anywhere.
Because no matter what
Which is
you
why
do now,
it's very important for you as ladies and anyway the guys too, because some guys say some things to ladies that you don't even realize it. Yeah, even for example, I had a conversation with somebody. I'm talking about things like health and all that stuff, and I was trying to say something. I didn't even say it, like I didn't say that to her like directly that this is it, but she took it that way. Till tomorrow, I know she looks at me. She's thinking about this guy said, "I can never have this. I can never have that. I can never be fit. I can never." I
women
didn't
don't
say
joke
that.
with their
No.
body.
Exactly.
No, it was. I wasn't even talking about her. I'm giving an example. It wasn't like I said she'll never be fit. But I'm just saying like anything that you say to someone might not show on the surface, but it stays. So the worst thing that you can do now is to be intentionally
hurting
them verbally.
That's even worse.
Some people will sit their wife down and rubbish her. You were nothing when I met you. You will be nothing if I leave you. You are this or that. You have basically reduced her to whatever you are scrapped now. Whatever you've said, you've reduced her. Some people are dating people now, dating guys that reduce them verbally every time they do something wrong. It's wrong. You know, it doesn't correct you in love. You're already wasting your time. I'm not saying you should be a jackass and just be Dundee every time. But I'm saying even the guys, you're supposed to lead, you're supposed to guide, you're supposed to build, you're supposed to uplift. I think it's something of joy when I see people that have been married for 30 years and the man is saying, or the woman is saying, I wouldn't be where I am now if not for my husband. Like he groomed me to love myself. To appreciate myself, to that's the more to me that's the more honorable thing than saying I bought you bone straight hair and took you to Dubai. I mean,
stays forever.
That stays forever. You spend it, you lost the receipts, but that one is going to stay with you.
Of course.
So I think that's so. What are we agreeing on? What's the consensus now? The question: do second chance relationships work?
It depends.
Don't walk into it with your eyes closed, basically. If you're going to ever try, think about it. As you are talking to that person and you're trying to consider jumping into that relationship, check again. That thing that made you leave.
Check again.
That thing that made you leave. Has it changed? Is it still there?
So,
if it's still there and you are still reacting to it, Just go.
Just rest.
Just go.
So what if it wasn't the person's character or something? Maybe somebody cheated or something, and the person has changed.
Can you really prove that it's
Maybe
changed?
that's cheating might not be intentional. Maybe it just happened,
Exactly.
and it's something that the person is not even.
So,
Okay,
in the
so
case of,
maybe the person might be
sorry,
remorse.
sorry.
in case of
Yes.
cheating, I will have to tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come back to a person like that, you are going to have to do a couple of crazy things that I know that a lot of people would even cringe if I say it.
Okay,
You are going to have to accept that it's possible it will happen again.
it's possible. Yes.
You are going
Like-
to have to live
like
with it.
so many women
That
will
it's
have-
possible that this thing will happen again. You're going to have to tell yourself. You're going to have to probably die to the fact that it will hurt you. or
Normally,
anything.
most women already have it in mind that all men cheat. So they,
I'm not talking about men.
Okay, let's
that's what they're saying.
let's
Like,
move on.
Everyone
Everybody,
cheats, so
hey,
woman,
oh
man,
my
no.
No, I'm
God.
just saying that
Wow.
everybody have resigned their mind.
Next
like,
episode.
No, I'm trying to make a point.
No,
here. I'm trying
no,
to make
we're
a
not
point
saying that
here.
We're going to
No,
I'm just saying
no.
that we'll talk about this on a different episode.
No, we're just, it's
No.
part
I'm
of
trying to
it
make
now.
a point.
I cannot
here.
waste my
Wait.
content.
wait. I'm just trying to make a point because that partner, you
man.
said the person will have to live with the fact that
Okay.
this thing might happen again. I'm telling you now that most women already have it in mind that all men cheat. It's not even an option. So they're like, let me just remove my mind from there. Because it's something that whether
It's normal, though.
it's a normal thing for them. So one way or
just
the
choice of
other.
God.
So if both of you are coming back in that kind of scenario, I would say first and foremost, the man has to agree to some measures too.
Okay.
Measures like you cannot have a password on your phone. It's not possible.
Of course. You're
Okay,
supposed
wait,
to even
calm
at
down,
least doing
calm
that.
down,
Your
calm down.
partner, you're
No,
supposed to have
Calm down.
No,
Calm down.
before that happened, you may not have bothered. But at this point, trust has been broken.
Yes.
So you're going to have to work times too harder to earn the trust. This time around, you have to earn the trust.
It's a
It's a
very
second
good
chance
measure.
relationship.
It's a very good
It's going to
measure.
be harder, but it can work.
Yes.
It will mean that wherever he is, he has to give you a
And
date.
if his
he's
mind
working-
if he's working towards it, he will not even decline.
And do you know that the truth is, if he really loves her,
wants
he will
to-
do it.
Yes, he will do it.
Well,
Exactly.
if he's
Because
going
you
so-
even know
so
that
that
he's
wait,
committed to letting it work.
This your scenario now. Is it that the man cheated on the
that
woman?
if it is that way, if
So
it is the other way
around,
around, the same thing. The
same thing
woman
now.
has to agree.
Okay,
Yes.
let me
She'll
now.
be over accountable.
Let me add something.
But
yeah?
that's very choking now.
No, it's
Okay.
not like
So
it's
you
not
want to
like every 5
around.
minutes you will not be checking your
let me
phone
let
or
me
something.
tell you.
Like
But you have to
Just
be
be
as open
free.
as possible. There can
Yes.
be no
There's
secrets
no need to be
anymore.
doing checky.
No, it's just no.
Of
Do you know
days
why?
and all. Just
No,
be
you're-
free. Just be
no.
open. You don't need
It's
to.
that the problem is that you've passed that stage. It's no longer that simple anymore. If it
Because
was just a
trust
new
has been
relationship,
broken.
just be open.
let me-
Trust has been broken, so now you have to
Need
be
to earn it.
intentional in earning it.
Okay. When I think of things like cheating, like domestic violence, like when you've wronged your partner in a very on a very deep level. No, the thing is domestic violence. I believe this is one thing I believe. Why I even do my podcast is I believe there's a space for redemption, right? People can come back from making mistakes. People can come back from making mistakes and do the right thing, and do proper, really do well. You know, I mean, just like you see people fail jam 5 times and they get jam 1 time and they go in and they don't. You get them to come out with like 4 point something, or you know,
Yeah.
it's not like the jam you wrote. It's not like you were stupid the whole time, but something in you has woken up that look, I've lost time. I can't play. I can't play games. I had a roommate like that. I listened to a Tupac song one time and he was rapping to the song and it's an old song. But then I realized that this guy, you're not a young person because you know the song too well. Like I listened to the song, but you're rapping like you were there. Like, do you know Tupac before? Because if you are bald, you know, the question really is that when bad things happen, I feel like we have to understand this is where love really starts to come to play. Everybody's talking about love when it's easy, when things are going the way you like.
Yeah.
The moment things don't go the way you like is when you know whether you love somebody or not.
Yeah.
That's where you know. Because everything is cool, they didn't upset you, they are buying you flowers, they're telling you good morning baby, everything's sweet. The moment they do something that is so contrasting to what you expect that your entire reality is shook. Loving them is going to be that's your new test. Do you love them enough to, one, forgive them? Two, you have to, because it's long suffering. What do you think long suffering is? Long suffering is, I've seen your shit. I've seen your nakedness. I've seen your mess up.
It's not just about the love. What if you are not strong enough mentally to handle it?
Exactly. So this is the thing.
It doesn't mean that person anymore, but you just have to protect your sanity. Yes, that's it. You can't just be, because I love this person, I will not be.
And that's why we say, so you think about it. If you can't handle it, don't go back.
That's the thing.
So
important to the fact that if you love the person,
if you can't handle it, don't go back.
So
nobody will force
that's
you.
the beautiful.
Just like
That's the beautiful. Because part of it is also now looking at yourself and saying, do I have the capacity to? I love you. Just hear me out. I love you, but do I have the capacity to love you? I love you, but I'm out of battery. I've been through a lot. I can't handle this one. You know, I love you, but you see that punch where you punch me, man. I'm good. I never thought I'd seen black from one of my eyes. I don't think I want to love you anymore. I do, but I love you enough to let you go.
Spot for the person,
but like what I'm trying to say is that
scared that what if it happens again?
What I'm trying to say is exactly.
But then you start tolerating.
But
once
you
start
cannot
tolerating the first time, it's possible that you keep tolerating.
You can't have love without tolerance.
Wait, now.
No, there's something.
Everyone has a yield point. Everybody has their limits. Everybody has their limits, and once you get your limit, my advice is check out. You understand? Especially you don't get to a point when you're married and start checking. I don't even want to advise that. Problem. But if you're in a relationship and you see something that is you know, so if you are in a relationship and you're already seeing somebody jacking you up, and flinging you around, I don't think you should be having certain conversations. Obviously, I can't speak for everybody.
No, my mom, that's one advice, golden advice. Thank you, mommy.
They don't even need to advise you.
This
when you are
my mom just said, she just told me one as a child. She just said, my darling, if you are in a relationship and you see things that you're already tolerating, and
I think that
as it's taking a lot. It's not. There are weaknesses you see and you're like, I can handle it.
Yeah, work on
there are some things you are seeing is taking you a lot. She said, if you see it,
positives,
walk out.
Are the negatives overshadowing?
She said, if you see it,
the negatives,
she said, because
it's not by numerical, it's not by quantity. It's by the quality of it, the weight of it.
You can't manage it again.
He might give you money, he might take you to Dubai, but that's all. But that's quantity. The quality of it is what he has done to you. It might just be one time he beat you up, he lifted you up. And
from that day henceforth, every time he's talking, his hand just moves like this.
That means the quality of your relationship versus the quantity of relationship, positive to negative is more. Yeah. So I think there's a different conversation to have between tolerance and understanding. When you understand somebody, it's a different ball game. When you're tolerating somebody, it's like, I don't really understand what's going on. But for whatever sake, maybe marriage, maybe public image, maybe whatever, I'm going to try and just put up with you. Right? Don't put up in your relationship.
Exactly.
You understand? It's just like dating someone that's not your spec. Everything is going to annoy you. Because I'm already tolerating you. Like, I don't really want to be here. Why are you asking if I'm missing? What's wrong with you? Maybe there's something in your eye. Why are you touching my eye? If I then ask you, touch my eye with your crooked looking fingers. Where's on my eye? Don't do that. Oh it's crazy stuff. You know what? Someone you don't like is sending you good morning, baby. You get that. Even if no matter how many love emojis you put before their name, and write boyfriend or my love or my heartbeat, my everything. No matter what, when you see that message, you just say thank you. Say thank you. Good morning, my love, my baby. Thank you.
I think I go on like that. Happy star. I can't put love in where I'm like, oh God, no.
You know what I see. I'll just say one last thing, right? When it comes to second chance relationship and everything. If you dated the person before, they beat you up, they did everything to you.
Don't go back.
Wait, let's say you are foolish enough to go back. For whatever reason, you go back, or the person emotionally abused you, and then you now start trying to prophesy sense into them. People do this thing. That's why I want to say it. The person is a monster to you. The person is a thorn in your flesh. The person is a demon in your life. This is a bone of contention. This is this person is the Nigeria to your. So this person now, you now rename their name from whatever their name was before. You now be writing like my peace.
Which peace?
Do you understand? Your peace is the cause of your headache, but you name them my peace. You are trying to prophesy sense and peace and love into them, but it's not coming out because in the first place they have been made.
If you are giving me peace, I write peace.
If you are not giving me peace, you write in the Boski. You write in the Boski pause. Right there, underline it, lion. So let's know what you are dating. I think people should not. I think we should normalize writing. Like if you're going to give your partner a pet name, I always try and do this. I try and give my anyone I'm dating, my significant other, I give them a name that signifies something about them that is different. So I don't give them generic names like baby. What's that? Everybody's baby. But I give them a name that when you see them, that emotion, that feeling, that sensation comes to you. Like this is why I gave you this name, right? So you can't give somebody.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I do my best. So don't give somebody a name that doesn't match them, right? If they are Voldemort, if they are evil spirit, don't go and start naming them my love, my baby. You be putting cute flower next to it. That flower can. That's what they call my captor, my prison, my this, my that, my security man. That security man now, you're putting padlock next to his name with key. Why? Gate man.
They've loved the relationship.
Is his name Zuberu? I don't know why you.
When relationship not end, you change his name back.
So anyways, that's all. That's all we have enough time for on this episode. It's been an amazing recording. I've laughed. My head is turning me. So not on his own, please. So, but thank you so much, Habiba, Promise, and Juliet. You girls are amazing. I want to say guys, but you girls are amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah, till next time. Do well to subscribe, share this with your friends. Stay awesome, stay amazing. I'll see you in the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.